Hello, how you doing? It's your boy CD, and welcome to Fan Nation. This is the platform where we geek out on greatness. Today, I want to talk to you about my personal love-hate for the Marvel Cinematic Universe Walt Disney Plus TV shows. Once again, it's my personal opinion of my love hate for the Marvel Cinematic Universe Disney Plus shows. My first topic is WandaVision. WandaVision was greatness. Truth be told, WandaVision was a love story and a tragedy. It was a love story because it showed Wanda's unconditional love for Vision. But it was a tragedy because the loss of Vision made her psyche break down mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And it devil's advocate for a second. Wanda is a woman who really didn't have love. And when she found it, it was stripped from her. And because that love was stripped from her, her psyche broke down and she started getting unstable. And to compensate for the death, she created something. She created a whole nother world with her powers, a whole nother, you know, what's we're looking for? A whole nother psyche where everything she's ever wanted was right before her eyes. Her husband, Vision, and 2 children. And once Vision was stripped from her a second time, and her children, especially her children, she just went off on a deep end. Once again, devil's advocate. Being a man that loves hard, I get it. Being a father that loves his children unconditionally, I get it. So if I was in love with a woman and she was stripped from me, and if I had kids that I love unconditionally, well, I do have kids I love unconditionally. I'm saying if those kids was taken from me, I don't know what I would do. I'll say this. Chris Rock had a statement back in the late 90s, early 2000s that I thought was hilarious. He said, I'm going to go back and say this again. He said something that was hilarious, but I agreed with him. And that statement was, I don't condone it, but I understand. And that's how it is with Wanda. I get why she did what she did. I get it. I'm not saying it was right, but I get it. So I don't condone it, but I understand. Okay. And if you don't believe what I said about what the reality was of the show, I'll say it again. The reality of the show was a love story and a tragedy. It was about a woman that loved unconditionally and lost everything. And because she was giving alpha level, she was gifted with alpha level mutant abilities, she was able to tap into that power and to create what she lost. But what she lost when she created what she lost, she didn't realize she was messing up the fabric of time and space. She didn't realize it. And when she did realize it, I guess she was so far gone, she didn't care. She just wanted what she wanted. Once again, I don't condone it, but I understand. And I say it again, love story and a tragedy. And then Marvel turned around and gave us a supernatural / cosmic twist to it. It was phenomenal. I don't know why the show didn't win an Emmy. It should have. It was great. Because it showed the mental, physical, and emotional, and even spiritual breakdown of Wanda. And if y'all didn't watch WandaVision, y'all watched Multiverse of Madness, and you wanted to know why Wanda was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, well, I beseech you to go back and watch Infinity War first, then Endgame, then WandaVision, and then you'll have clarification of why she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in the Multiverse of Madness. And even in Multiverse of Madness, I say again, I don't condone her actions, but I understood. But I think she did go too far when she took out that Illuminati. She went a little too far. But at that point, she was a woman scorned. And a woman scorned, whoo, that's the worst woman to roll up on. That's the worst woman to roll up on. So that dynamic changed then, because she went from a grieving widow and a grieving mother to a woman scorned. That was different. She was on a different level of Multiverse of Madness. She was still cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But I didn't condone it. But I understood. I really did. Another thing that I loved about WandaVision was the fact that they brought in Monica Rambeau. I was elated. They changed the origin. I'm not gonna say I hated the origin change. All I'm gonna say is that's not comic book accurate. That's all I'm gonna say. And for those of you that don't know who Monica Rambeau is, she's actually the original second Captain Marvel. And I said original second because the original Captain Marvel is an alien from the planet Kree named Marvel. He was a great commander, a great superhero. Unfortunately, he died because his cosmic power mixed with the energy from the negative zone, and it killed him. And that's how Monica Rambeau took over the mantle as Captain Marvel. Matter of fact, not only is Monica Rambeau the second Captain Marvel, I also believe, if I remember correctly, she is the first official female leader of the Avengers. I'm 80% sure of that. And if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the comments below. I'm 80% sure I'm right. But if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. Seeing Monica, I was elated. I was like, yeah. Okay. But I will say this before I go on. People also got to understand, some people think that Carol Danvers is the original Captain Marvel, and she's not. Once again, the original Captain Marvel is an alien Kree named Marvel. Second Captain Captain Marvel, is Monica Rambeau. Carol Danvers technically it's the third Captain Marvel, because in the late 90s, Captain Marvel's son took over the mantle as Captain Marvel. They didn't last long, so I said That didn't last long. And then in the early 2000s, they brought another version of Marvel from a parallel universe, but he wasn't there long either. So I'm just gonna stick with Carol Danvers uh, officially being the third Captain Marvel. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with that. You know, because like I said, Marvel's son took over in the late '90s. Yeah, it was short lived. So I don't know if we can really count that. Same thing with the parallel universe of Captain Marvel. Uh, I didn't really care too much for that one because he was blue like a Kree. You know, because the original Captain Marvel is not blue. He a Kree, but he's not blue. But in the parallel universe, this version was blue with white hair. Uh, I don't know if I really like that one. So I'm gonna scratch him for the record too. So I'm just gonna go once again and say Carol Danvers was the third Captain Marvel. And for those of you who don't know that when Carol Danvers originally came on the scene, she was actually called Miss Marvel. Um, and she got put into a coma by Rogue from the X-Men because uh, Rogue siphoned too much of Miss Marvel's power, almost killed her, but she instead of killing her, she wound up putting her into a coma. And because Rogue siphoned too much of her power, that's how Rogue was able to get her super strength, her invincibility, and her fight powers. Okay. Um, and Carol Danvers was in a coma for some years. Then this entity similar to the Phoenix entity named the Binary took over her body, and Carol Danvers became the entity known as Binary. But Binary was pretty much an X-Men level uh, super hero slash anti-hero. Uh, She popped up in Avengers as Binary every now and again, but she was pretty much with the X-Men for some years. And then when the entity finally was done using Carol Danvers as a blessing to her for being a vessel for the Binary actually gave her life back, and she came back to the Avengers titles as Warbird. Um, and I want to say Carol Danvers was Warbird. I want to say from '97 to maybe 2009. Then she became Captain Marvel. And for those that I might be off a year or two. And if I'm off or if I'm correct, let me know at the bottom. Let me know at the bottom. I want to say I'm correct. I want to say '97 to 2009. But if you want to fact check it. Let me know if I'm correct in the comments below. I think I'm off a year or two, but I'm 80% sure I'm correct. Okay. Um, so once again, that was a little history of who Carol Danvers is. Excuse me, Carol Danvers is. Now, back to Monica Rambeau. I was elated once again. She's like one of my all-time favorite Avengers. Then the second thing I loved about WandaVision was that they went to the 20th Century Fox X-Men universe and took out Evan Peters, who played Quicksilver in Days of Future Past and X-Men Apocalypse. I was elated. I was glad they brought him in here because I when I heard they was gonna bring Quicksilver, I truly thought they was gonna bring us Quicksilver from Age of Ultron. That Quicksilver sucked royally. He sucked so much I don't even know the actor's name. That's how sucky he was. And even when he got killed in Age of Ultron, I wasn't even upset because he was terrible. He was terrible. Now, Evans Peters from the 20th Century Fox X-Men Cinematic Universe, they brought him over to the MCU. I was like, yeah, I loved it. I loved it. And I knew then, because they did that, the X-Men was not far away. I knew the X-Men were coming to the MCU. I saw that. I was very pleased. Very pleased. If you don't believe that Evan Peters is the best Quicksilver, go back and watch Days of Future Past and Apocalypse. Phenomenal. Even in Dark Phoenix, although Dark Phoenix sucked, he was phenomenal in there. He was phenomenal. Okay. The third thing that got my blood pumping was they brought one of my favorite Avengers to WandaVision. And that favorite Avenger is the all-white Vision. They changed his origin. I'm not going to say I was mad at that, but I want to give the comic book history of the all-white Vision. The all-white Vision is actually a villain. Well, he started out as a villain. The original all-white Vision in the 90s, the late 90s, was actually an evil version of Vision from a parallel universe. He absorbed the original Vision and infiltrated the Avengers to take them out for this evil parallel version of Black Knight called Proctor. Matter of fact, I think at that time, Black Knight was the leader of the Avengers. I want to say he was the leader. Matter of fact, if y'all can fact check that, let me know in the comments below and let me know if I'm right. I want to say during that time when Proctor came, I want to say Black Knight was the leader of the Avengers. Okay. Yeah, I want to say Black Knight. Well, once again, Proctor was an evil version of Black Knight who made Vision made his Vision absorb the 616 Vision, and he infiltrated them. And I think this event, I can't remember if this event happened before Operation Galactic Storm or after. I can't remember. As a matter of fact, if you can fact check that, let me know at the comments below if the White Vision infiltrated the Avengers before Operation Galactic Storm. I'm 80% sure it was before Galactic Storm, but if I'm not, let me know if I'm right or wrong in the comments below. Okay? Anywho, the White Vision is like one of my favorite Avengers ever. You know, and I'm not gonna tell you in the 90s when I was reading how he infiltrated the Avengers, I had this funny feeling he was eventually gonna betray Proctor. I know eventually he was. So, and I say this: Google the White Vision, Google his origins, and I promise you, you will love the original origins instead of the new origin. The new origin, the MCU origin. Once again, I'm not gonna say I hated it, but I ain't gonna say I hated it. I'm not gonna say I hated it. It was okay. But I was elated and excited to see the battle between 616 Vision and the all-white Vision. That was an epic battle. That was an epic battle. And then, matter of fact, even in WandaVision, White Vision absorbed the regular Vision. Now, was I disappointed that we didn't see Vision in Multiverse of Madness? Yes, I was disappointed. But hopefully, we'll see him soon. Prayfully, We'll see him soon. And so I say this. WandaVision was so great that on a scale 1 to 12, with 12 being off the Richter, which is short for off the Richter scale, I give WandaVision a rating of 11 out of 12. And if you don't believe me, watch it and tell me what you think in the comments below. Now, this is a segment of the show that I introduce one of the dopest games to play and one of the dopest books to read. So I'm gonna start off with the dopest video game. Now, the dopest video game you actually can download on your phone. It's called Diablo Immortal. It is a phenomenal game. If you're a fan of Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, you will love Diablo Immortal. It is a great dungeon crawl MMO. It is a great slasher video game with an awesome story. Don't take my word for it. Check out Diablo Immortal. It is a phenomenal game. Now, although I love Immortal and I also love Diablo 3, I'm still a diehard advocate of Diablo 2. I don't know. I just think Diablo 2 was the greatest Diablo game. To me, I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking nothing from Diablo 3, and I'm not taking nothing from Diablo Immortal. But Diablo 2 set the precedence for Diablo 3 and Diablo Immortal. Once again, it's a phenomenal dungeon crawl MMO, and I was astounded by the graphics. I was astounded by the storyline. I was astounded by the gameplay. And I think this might go down in history as one of the best Diablo games ever. Once again, do I think it's better than Diablo 2? No. I don't think no Diablo game is better than Diablo 2. But then again, I'm a stickler. You know, I'm an advocate to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's just me. So, you get a chance on your mobile device, download Diablo Immortal. You will fall in love. Yes. Now, that brings me to my final topic. One of the greatest stories you can read is by R.A. Salvatore. It's the first book of the Legend of Drizzt novel series. It's called Homeland. This story is about a man who wanted to be better than his people. His people was bred in war, hatred, and chaos. They was bred in darkness, deceit, trickery, violence, and betrayal. And he wanted something better. But he knew to be better, he had to go far away from his homeland. He had to escape. He plotted for years to escape because escape was not an option. in the underworld where he grew up in. It was fight or die there. And he wanted no parts of that. So he set off to change the precedent. He set off to be a better Drizzt Erden than he was. And this story right here starts a chain reaction of one of the greatest fantasy adventure characters ever created, Drizzt Erden. And because of Drizzt, because he decided to leave his homeland to become better, he even showed the rest of his people that they didn't have to conform to their society. He let the rest of them see over the years that they could be greater. Because if you follow the Drizzt Erden story, he changed the world persona on his people. Because his people was bred in hatred, deceit, evil, violence, trickery, all the above. And everyone in the world was scared of them. Everyone in the world resented them. But he showed the world that his people could be better. Not all, but he showed the world that his people could be better. And this is a story that jumps off all that. Legends of Drizzt, Homeland, written by R.A. Salvatore. And R.A. Salvatore is my third best novelist. My first best novelist is James Patterson. He is the creator of the Alice Cross series. I am a diehard Alice Cross fan. Second is George Lucas. I am a diehard George Lucas fan. And then thirdly is R.A. Salvatore. This right here is one of the greatest novels ever written. And AR, if you listening, we need a Drizzt Erden TV series. We need a Drizzt Erden TV series. No, not a movie. Not a movie. We need a TV series. We need a 10-episode TV series so the world can know the greatness that is Drizzt Erden. And if y'all can't tell, I am a diehard Drizzt Erden fan. This is right here is actually the first 3 books. This is Homeland, Exile, and Sojourner. If you get a chance, read those. This is great. This is the second trilogy. This is the Crystal Shard, the Scream of Silver, and the Halfling's Gem. These 2 trilogies changed the game in fantasy adventure. And I'll tell you this. I think the Drizzt Erden storyline is better than Game of Thrones. I think the Drizzt Erden storyline is better than The Lord of the Rings. That's just me. So I'm going to say it again to you, R.A. You need to get with Prime or HBO Max. Because I think they will be the best platform to give us a Drizzt Erden 10-episode epic event. I'm serious. And if you don't believe that this is one of the greatest fantasy adventure novels ever written, Google it. Do your homework. Go to the bookstore, get the books. I promise you, these stories will change your mindset on good reading, good novels, and fantasy adventures. It will change the game for you. Well, that's my time, people. If you liked what I was saying, if you like my show, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, and I'll keep bringing you videos. This your boy CD. Peace out.